Push this in front. Just be close. Right next to me. Yeah. Okay, good. नाही त्यांना मराठी बोलायचं बोलू दे ना. हां.
Namaskar, Hare Krishna. You are all welcome here. Uh, I am from Maharashtra Mandal, Seattle, Maharashtra Mandal. My name is Ashwini Kshirsagar, and we are doing this program in collaboration with VCC today. So Maharashtra Mandal is Seattle Maharashtra Mandal is a non-profit organization serving greater Seattle population, and our mission is to promote Marathi culture and traditions within the community. We are non-profit organization, and we represent western state in India, Maharashtra, and we do activities and events. We celebrate festivals that promote and that help maintain cultural heritage of Maharashtra. So today we are here to listen His Grace Vrindavan Prabhuji's speech on Bhakti आणि शक्तीचा sangam. धन्यवाद.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. It's a great fortune for me to be able to introduce His Grace Vrindavan Prabhu. Last 40 plus years, he's serving ISKCON worldwide, USA, India. And part of his 40-year services, he has created multiple temples, multiple brahmacharis, renounced people, lots of senior preachers, a result of his preaching efforts. And every time we talk about something, the root goes back to where he started the program. It is Kolhapur, Pune, Mumbai, wherever, So Prabhu has a very long-standing career in ISKCON as a preacher. He's also joined by his family, Ekavali Mataji and Narayan Prabhu. So we welcome them as well. Prabhu is also running a Tukamane, that's a YouTube channel, right, that Prabhuji runs. There is a Marathi newspaper called as Tarun Bharat, right? And also, Prabhuji has written a book on Sant Tukaram Maharaj. He has written other books also, but for today's topic, it is Sant Tukaram, and he has done deep study before writing that book. He went to various places where Sant Tukaram Maharaj had spent time researching the life of Sant Tukaram Maharaj. So it is very authentic speaker, author who is present amongst us today. So let's welcome him by saying loudly Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः. नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सरस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. सर्वप्रथम सर्व महाराष्ट्रवासियांचं अत्यंत मनापासून हृदयापासून इथं आल्याबद्दल धन्यवाद अभिनंदन. पण इथं मराठी बरोबर इतर काही श्रोतेही आहेत, त्यांच्यासाठी मी इंग्रजीमध्ये बोलेल, तुमची परवानगी असेल तर. सगळ्यांना तुम्हाला इंग्रजी येतेच, त्यामुळे काय. हरे कृष्ण. So before we begin today's program, I would like to thank Maharashtra Mandal, particularly of Seattle, for arranging and coordinating this program with local ISKCON temple. We are very pleased to have all of you here. So today we are going to talk about Shivaji Maharaj and Tukaram. And we can proudly say that nobody in Maharashtra don't know these two names, right? And those who are from Pune, how many are from Pune here? Oh, almost 80%. So both of these are from Pune, you know that? Shivaji Maharaj and Tukaram, both are from Pune district. One is born in Shivneri, another is born in Dehu. So these two Punekars. But, so when we talk about Tukaram, both are in the era of 16th century. And one is practicing and preaching sanatana dharma, Bhagavad Dharma. We call them now as Hindu Dharma, which is not exactly a real term. And other is protecting that Dharma, Shivaji Maharaj. Correct? Shivaji Maharaj all over the world, he is known as a warrior. But he is inspired by Tukaram Maharaj. Everybody have to fight in this world. But for whom and for what purpose we have to fight is more important. You know, even Osama bin Laden fights, correct? So that he also says that it is for Dharma. So therefore, unless we understand what Dharma is, we will not be able to fight for the real purpose. And from whom we should understand Dharma? Those who are practicing Dharma. And there comes in picture Tukaram Maharaj. So he is practicing and preaching Dharma. And Shivaji Maharaj following and protecting Dharma. So that is a Bhakti and Shakti sangam. One is a devotion, other is power. And both of them, they are working towards only one purpose, protecting the Dharma. So wherever we are, no matter whether you are in Pune or in Seattle or anywhere, we can practice Dharma because Dharma is universal. Now for Tukaram, he is called Jagat Guru. Now even if he is born in Dehu, never went outside Pune and Pandharpur, but his message is applicable for all over the world. I go to New York University to preach Tukaram Maharaj Abhangas. You know, people are in America are now interested in knowing about the philosophy of Tukaram. So Tukaram Maharaj is very famous in America. So, but we do not know what is the message of Tukaram. You know, we proudly say we should have pride of our culture only if we follow it. Otherwise, it's a false pride. So therefore, we should know what is our culture. Now our culture, unfortunately, because British ruled us for so many years, we have forgotten our real culture. So now, forget about you are in Seattle, think that you are in Pune. Because all that what I am going to talk today is all happened in Pune. You know. So therefore, Tukaram Maharaj was born in Dehu in 16th century, 1604. And he himself explains in his Abhangas why he is born. You know, we don't know why we are born. Therefore, whole life we find out why we are born. And till we find out why we are born, we die. Right? But these great souls, they know why they are born. So Tukaram Maharaj has written a Abhanga. He said, Dharmache rakshana kari pakhanda khandana bija vadavave nama hechi amma karane kama. So I'll be quoting Abhangas in Marathi only. I have translated them in English also for English people, but I'll quote them in Marathi. Dharmache rakshana. So to practice and follow and preach Dharma, I am born, I have come. Pakhanda khandana. And whatever is against the religious principles, I have come to destroy them. Is the same purpose Krishna comes, correct? To protect the Dharma and destroy the people who are disturbing the Dharma. The same person, Sadhu also appears for the same purpose. Dharmache rakshana karane pakhanda khandana. And then he is also saying how I am going to do that. बीज वाढवावे नाम हेच आम्हा करणे काम. Said to plant the seed of devotion, especially the holy name, Namasmaran, in everyone's heart is my purpose of life. That's what Tukaram is. Then in another Abhanga he says, Ami Vaikuntavasi, I have come from Vaikunta. We all have come from Vaikunta, but unfortunately we have forgotten. And our destination is also Vaikunta, but we have forgotten, and we are struggling in this world, and we are preparing to stay in Seattle all of our life. But staying in this world is not our destination. We are just visitors here. So we have to know from where we have come and where we are going. So Tukaram Maharaj is guiding in that. Now he is saying, Ami Vaikuntavasi. Now we are all Vaikuntavasi, but we don't remember. And we are forced to come here. We take birth according to our karma. But these devotees of the Lord, sadhus, they don't come on their own will. They come as a representative of Krishna, representative of God, to preach His message. They don't have their own message. So that is what Krishna, Tukaram is saying, Ami Vaikuntavasi, Alo yachi karanasi. Why I came here? Bolile je Rushi. Whatever is said by Vyasadev, Sats bhave vartavaya. Sats bhave means to experience that, Vartaya means to preach that. So I have come here to experience what Vyasadeva has said and distribute that for the benefit of humanity. So this is the greatest humanitarian work, to distribute knowledge. Why? Because of lack of knowledge we suffer. If you have a knowledge, you are happy. Correct? Just in material world you can see, those who have educated, they have a nice life. Those who are not educated, they are, they are poor, they are feeling. So similarly, to perfect our life, we have to have a complete knowledge. Now whatever knowledge we have is half knowledge. And what this in English, half knowledge is dangerous. The knowledge we have is destroying our life. So we have to have complete knowledge. So we have half knowledge about God. So whatever you learn in material world is half knowledge about God only. You are learning about God's energies, nothing else. This whole material world, material education is about learning God's energy, but without God. The complete education is including God in whatever you have learned. So that makes our education complete. So therefore, Krishna, Tukaram is saying that Bolile Jerushi Sats Bhave Vartavya. Arte Lopali Purane. He says the Vedas and Puranas, they are full with meaning. But unfortunately, we misunderstand them. We misunderstand. Therefore, we have a wrong conception about the best dharma in the world. That is Hinduism. We call it as sanatana dharma, Bhagavad dharma. So because we have a lot of misconception. Why? Because we have learned our Vedas from Britishers. We didn't learn from Tukaram. We didn't learn from Madhvacharya. We didn't learn from Ramanujacharya. We learned it from Britishers. Max Muller. Everybody who has read any Vedas or Puranas, they have read it from Max Muller, not from Ramanuja, not from Madhvacharya, not from Tukaram. So therefore they are confused, and they are confusing other Hindus too. So that is why we have to learn from Tukaram. Now that is why he is saying Arthe Lopali Purane. Each word of the Vedas has complete, beautiful knowledge. Nash Kela Shabda Jnane. But what has happened in Kali Yuga, they have destroyed that knowledge. How? They use the sloka of Bhagavad Gita, but they talk their own philosophy. So, because if you have Bhagavad Gita, see, everybody knows this verse. Karmannevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. At least all Indians know this verse. Right? But that's a half truth. Work is worship. Correct? So that's what the meaning we know about Bhagavad Gita. Work is worship. Correct? But when it becomes worship, the next part is they never tell us. When it is done for the purpose of serving Krishna or serving the God. That is the other half. There are four, of course that's not the part of today's lecture. There are four topics in that one sloka. Karmannevadikaraste ma phaleshu. If you are working, that's your profession, that's wonderful. But don't expect anything afterwards. You do your work and forget everything, but we don't do that. And the third thing is, don't stop working because you're not eating the fruits. That's the third warning we have. And fourth one, offer your fruits to God. Work, but offer your fruit to God. So that is what Tukaram is saying. अर्थे लोपली पुराणे नाश केला शब्द ज्ञाने, विषय लोभी मने साधने बुडविली. Vishaya Lobhi, people are using dharma for sense gratification. Now why people go to temple? Give me this, give me that, give me this, give me that, and no matter how much God gives, it is not enough. Correct? And that is not at all a purpose of going to the temples, asking for something. Purpose of going to temple is to thank God for whatever He has given to us and ask Him how I can use this in your service. That is the purpose of going to temple. We should never go to temple for asking for something. Krishna has already given everything to you. Everything, whatever you require. Now that's another, every word I am saying is a lecture for one hour, but I am just making points. Okay? So, Vishaya Lobhi Mane, people are using dharma for sense gratification, to increase their material life. That is not the purpose of dharma. And that is, everybody is practically, seems like following dharma, but actually they are following adharma. They do not know what dharma is. So that's why we have to learn dharma from Tukaram Maharaj. So, Arthe Lopali Purane Nasha Kela Shabda Jnane Vishay Lobhi Mane Sadhane Buduvili said Pitu Bhakticha Dangora. Now, तुम्हाला फक्त डांगोरा मराठीमध्ये ऐकून माहिती आहे. डांगोरा means, they used to have duffly, and you go in the corner. That was the previous, those who are very of my age, they remember in the villages, they used to go with dimki. They go, today evening there is a program in the temple, come everybody, that was like advertisement. So, Tukaram is saying, Pitu Bhakticha Dangora. He said, now why I have come here? To preach bhakti, nothing else. And what is bhakti? Kali Kalasi Darara. He said, if you are engaged in bhakti, we have two very difficult, problems, or like huge hills on our head. We don't realize that. Just like you can see that hill from here, it is more than that. And what is that? Kali. We are born in Kali Yuga. We don't even know what Kali Yuga is. We are so much immersed in Kali Yuga. Right? And second thing is time. Time is eating your life. Correct? One time I went to college preaching one time. I went to a hostel. And I just, they're young kids, like 20s, So I asked them, hey guys, what are you doing? Yeah, we are just killing the time. But they don't know that time is killing everybody. Everybody is killed by time. Every second your life is getting, you don't realize that because we are in so much illusion. So somebody who has above the time and above the Kali Yuga has to guide us to get out of it. We are so burdened by these two things in Kali Yuga. First, we are born in Kali Yuga, and second thing, time is eating our life. Time is going. So, Kali Kalasi Darara, Tukamane Kali Kalasi Darara. Garja Jai Jaikara Anande. He says, you should glorify the holy name of the Lord. So, this is the purpose of Tukaram Maharaj. So, when Tukaram Maharaj was preaching in Dehu, his preaching was very simple. You don't have to do any religious activity. Very simple, one line to hear. You don't have to do any religious activity. Do only one thing in Kali Yuga, chanting the name of Krishna. That's it. Nothing else to do. Nothing else. The whole essence of Tukaram Maharaj Abhanga is in only 2 lines. And these lines, when I was in school, they were on the wall. I didn't understand at that time what was the meaning of it and everything. We just remembered and by-hearted it because it is on the wall. It's 2 words if you remember. This is the essence of today's pravachan also, lecture also, and essence of your life also. This is, if you remember only this Upadesh of Tukaram. Gita, Bhagavata, Kariti, Sravana, Akhanda, Chintana, Vithobache. Bas, that's it. Every day you read Gita and Bhagavat, and as much as possible, chant the name of Krishna. Only two things you have to do. And that is real our culture. You see, previously, everybody will read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam in their house. And everybody will chant Namasmaran in their house. So this is what Tukaram did. So he was preaching so simple. In Kali Yuga, there is nothing, because Kali Yuga is so bad, you cannot practice even religious, you cannot do yoga, you cannot even go to temples, because now temples have become like a business centers, right? So we don't go even to the temple in Kali Yuga. You cannot perform yagya, and you cannot perform dhyana. Is it possible to perform dhyana in Seattle? It is not possible. You may do that 2 minutes and then you are done. You cannot perform dhyana. It is impossible. So you cannot do all these activities in Kali Yuga. So Kali Yuga is Krute tat dhyayate Vishnu tritaya majato makai dwapare parichayayat kalau tat hari kirtanam. In Kali Yuga, the process of dharma is chanting the name of Hari, Hari Kirtan. And Tukaram Maharaj said, I have come to preach this. I have to come to preach this. Now wherever he go, he will preach very simple. So what happened at that time, the Brahmana community is supposed to be the leader of the society. The Brahmanas are leader of the society. But unfortunately, Brahmanas in Kali Yuga have no knowledge. We are in the name, I am also Brahmana, but we are in the name Brahmana only. We don't even know what Brahmana is. So what is that having? Just like I say engineer, nobody will accept me because I do not have any qualification or any knowledge about engineer. Just because I am a son of an engineer, I cannot claim that I am an engineer. So similarly, we are born in Brahmanical family, but we do not have any Brahmanical standard. So therefore, Kalau Shudra Sambhava. See, Satya Yuga is Brahman prominent. Treta Yuga is Kshatriya prominent. Then Dwapar Yuga is Vaishya prominent. And Kali Yuga is Shudra prominent. Now, in India, Shudra means it's a curse, it's like Maharaj Shivaji and Tukaram. So immediately somebody thinks. There is a difference between Shudra and Kshudra. Kshudra means insignificant. Shudra means it comes in 4 varnas and 4 ashrams. Therefore, it is said that Brahmanas are like head of the society. Correct? Kshatriyas are like arms of the society. And belly is like a Vaishya of the society. Society is Vaishya. And legs are like Shudra. Now, everybody in India, they get offended if you say that. A Shudra you call like a leg. But they are not ordinary person's leg. Krishna's leg. Just imagine Vittala's charan. You are not ordinary charan. Vittala's charan, and nothing moves without feet. So everybody is great. Everybody is great. Brahmana is great. Shudra is also great. In Vedic culture, everybody is great. But both are one body and going in one direction. That's why this Chaturvarnam is given. We'll come when we talk about, Tukaram talked this thing to Shivaji Maharaj. We'll talk about that later. So this is what we have to understand. In Kali Yuga, we cannot perform any tapasya. It is impossible for us to perform. Those who say we perform tapasya, they do not even know tapasya. You can say the greatest tapasya is done by a demon called Hiranyakashipu. You might have heard his name. Narsingadev and Hiranyakashipu. He stood on his one toe for 80,000 years. Even not any tapasya has done that tapasya. But what was the point of his tapasya? I want to kill Vishnu. So if you do tapasya, that is not a great thing. For whom you are doing tapasya, that is the most important thing, and for what purpose. So Tukaram will say all these things are not possible. Not possible in Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, you do only one thing, chanting the name of God. Chanting the name of Krishna is the only simple process. And that you can do anywhere and anytime. Even when you are driving car, even you are walking on the streets, even you are lying down, doesn't matter. You can chant or think about God anytime you want. So this is a simple process Tukaram was preaching. Then Brahmanas became very angry and envious because Tukaram was getting many followers in Dehu. So Brahmana became very envious, and they called Ram Shastri. If anybody from Pune, he used to live in Lohgaon. So they called him, and you all know the story. They asked Tukaram Maharaj to drown his abhangas there is a place called Anandadoha in Dehu. If you go there, that still place is there. So Tukaram has to drown those abhangas. And those abhangas, they were floating on the river. They came, after 13 years, they came out of river. And then Tukaram name spread all over. And at that time, Shivaji Maharaj on Sinhagad. He was staying on Sinhagad. And he was a teenage boy at that time. Just established, he's establishing Hindu Swarajya as, his mother taught him Ramayana and Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita when he was small. Now we want, in India we say, Sagadana Shivaji paije, but Shivaji sarka bhagala kon noko. Everybody wants to become like a Shivaji, but nobody wants to behave like a Shivaji. So what is Shivaji is made from, his mother is architect of Shivaji's life. And what's this she taught him? She taught him Mahabharata, Ramayana, Bhagavad and Bhagavad Gita. And this is all the knowledge Shivaji Maharaj had. He didn't go to any college for any learning, any warrior technique or anything. This is the only thing. And all the Shivaji Maharaj Ganimi Kawa, as we say in Maharashtra, they are all from Mahabharata. Everything is from Mahabharata. He escaped. So how Krishna escaped from the prison of Kamsa. That's his escape. So when he came from Agra, Shivaji Maharaj stayed 1 month in Brahmana's house in Mathura and he heard the whole Bhagavatam. So these things we don't hear in, because it's all politics, they tell only political thing, but nobody tells us this part of Shivaji Maharaj. So this was the influence of Shivaji Maharaj on Tukaram. So when these Abhangas came, his name spread. And at that time, Shivaji Maharaj was staying on Sinhagad. And from there, one time on the confluence of Mudha and Mutha, it's a very famous confluence in Pune. Now it is all dirty, but it is a beautiful place. I remember I came there first in 1980s. We used to take a bath there, but now you cannot even see that place. I cross that area almost every day. So that confluence from Sinhagad, Shivaji Maharaj saw that in the night there is a huge pandal and the light is coming on and everything. So Shivaji Maharaj just inquired. He called his minister and he said, what is going on? You can see that along from Sinhagad is saying. So what is that going on there? Then his secret, all intelligence people, they came and told him, there is a great saint, Tukaram Maharaj has come. And he is delivering his lectures, he is doing his pravachan there. And Shivaji Maharaj says, it's a great honor for me. That time he had heard about Tukaram Maharaj Abhangas floating in Indrayani river. So he said, Tukaram has come to my place, I must go and meet him. But as a respect, as a for an honored person, he sent his minister with gold, silver, and one horse and a umbrella, chhatra, as a honor to a respected sadhu. And these ministers, they came to Tukaram when he was in Lohogaon, and they offered it to him. Now, from here, the teachings of Tukaram Maharaj starts. So we'll try to understand how much time whatever time we have. So they came to him, and Tukaram was sitting in a place, all his people were doing all the program and they were chanting and doing kirtan, somebody was doing so many other things. So in this way, when they came to Tukaram's place where he was staying. He was not in Dehu, but he was in Lohogaon. So they, Mudha Mutha river at that time. So they came and they saw, and they introduced him that we have come, we are representative of Shivaji Maharaj. And they offered him all the gift. So if you are familiar with Tukaram Gatha, you will find these Abhangas in Tukaram Gatha. So it is called Tukaram Maharajansa Shivaji Maharajana Upadesh. So he came and they offered him all the gold and rubies and silken clothes and so many gifts to him with horse and umbrella. So Tukaram Maharaj just looked at him and immediately he's thinking of God. Now, if you think in front of you, somebody's sent a gift to you from New York or from Mumbai or from Pune, gold and rubies and silken clothes, what you will do, correct? But at that time, Tukaram is looking at this and thinking about Krishna. He said, now he's saying, he said, Divtya Chhatri Ghode Hito Baryat Na Pade. He said, what is the use of all these things? What is the use of all this umbrella, this horse you have sent, and all this gold? And then he said, Krishna, why you are keeping me in illusion by sending all these things? He said, Man Damba Pratishtha Heto Shukrachi Vishtha. Everybody in this world are hankering for prestige. Correct? Everybody wants prestige in the society. Now, don't take it word to word. You will not be able to practice this in one day. But understand the mood of sadhu. We have to be in the society, but at the same time, sadhu. You can be in the society, but you have to develop the qualities of sadhu to be in the society. So, what is he saying? Manadamba chesta heto shukrachi vishta. Said, mana, this prestige and abhimana and pratishtha, these things are like a stool of a pig. I consider them as a stool of a pig. So therefore, I said, Tukamane Deva Maje, please save me from this. So this is how he treated all the gifts he got from Shivaji Maharaj. And then there are so many abhangas, I am going to skip, I am not going to talk all about it. Nowadays is Chitta, Techi House Puravita. He said, Krishna, why you are sending me the things which I don't like? So Krishna is always testing. He gives you to see how much you are using in his service, whatever you have. Now it was a culture previous, I remember my grandmother, I am from Varkari Sampradaya. So my grandmother, even if she buys sari or somebody gives a sari, first thing she will go and put it in front of Vittala and put haldi kunku on that. Mataji is saying, yes, maybe your mother also did that, right? Yes, everybody is practically, or don't know. If it's not your mother, maybe your grandmother, correct? That was the mood. Anything you get is a gift from God. Now she will put it in front of Vittala, she will put haldi kunku, pray for, and then she will use it. My grandfather was a farmer, and anything you grow, first thing, he will offer it to Vittala. And of course, every day offer it food to Krishna, Naivedya. So, we have forgotten because there is a missing link. We have no example in front of us anymore. But still this practice is going on. We are just away from that. So, here he says, now, just a contemporary example, today's example, you see, if Joe Biden or Narendra Modi sends you a gift like gold and silver and all these silken clothes, and you are writing a letter to him, and what is Tukaram is writing to Shivaji Maharaj? He says, Mungi ani Rava amma sarikachi jiva. He says, your ant and a king is same to me. Now, if you write to Joe Biden, what he will think? If you write this to Narendra Modi, what he will think? He said, Mungi and a king is same to Amma Sarakachi Jiva. He said, both are same to me. But see the purity of a sadhu. How much he is detached. How much he sees everything belongs to Krishna. Then he says, Gela moha ani asha, kali kala saha fwasa. So this is for everybody. To have moha, that means greed, and desires, unfulfilled desires. It's kind of a fasa. What do you call? What the word you use for fast? Huh? Not entanglement. Fashi detat na. Dori, fashi se dorala. Noose, yeah. It's a noose in everybody's, and we are so proud to show that noose to everybody. Our property, our prestige. But according to sadhu, that's a noose. Because that is what binding you and keeping you in this world and not letting you the real knowledge. So he says, this is Kali Kalacha phasa. Sone ani mati amma samane chitti. For me, gold and dirt is the same. And he has no value. Said, Tuka mane ale, gara vaikunta savale. Now why he is feeling that? Because he has greatest wealth in his house. Now if you remember Tukaram, originally his forefathers, they were so rich that their monthly income at that time was 75 lakh rupees. 1600 years ago. 75,000 mudra, not lakh, 75,000. 75,000 mudras. And even if you go to Dehu today, if you see the birthplace of Tukaram and the temple of Vitthal Rukmini, that was the whole house of Tukaram. And Vitthal Rukmini's temple was in his courtyard, like in the first room, so that everybody can come and take darshan. Now it has become a full temple. Even though when we go for Dindi, the first Dindi in his house only, Inamdar Wada. That is, you have a person named Inamdar has bought that. So even today, the Dindi comes first to Inamdar Wada, the first day. So that was Tukaram's house, that was his property. All land around, but in his heart he was a simple sadhu. But all that Tukaram lost in 3 years. He lost so much, he don't even have house to stay and also food to eat. In just 3 years he died everything. He lost his business, he lost his father, he lost his mother, he lost his first wife, he lost his first son. And all the property he lost because there was a drought continuously for 3 years at that time in 16th century. So he lost everything. Now ordinary people may commit suicide. But what he did, he clings to the feet of Krishna more. And now, this is just I am telling him what is the Vairagya. Don't even think. Whatever Tukaram's life is, we cannot even compare. We just have to get an inspiration from his life and try to come somewhere close to his ideals. Now, whatever he is saying, it may seem cruel to you. Why Tukaram is saying that? He says, Bare zhale deva nigale diwale. Now, can any businessman say like that? It is good that I lost my business. Is any businessman here? No, good. So Tukaram Maharaj is saying, Bare zhale deva nigale digale diwale. So it is good, I lost everything. Otherwise, instead of chanting, I would have said like this, counting money. If as long as I was counting money, I was not putting my head in chanting, counting money and chanting. So therefore, he said, thank you, Krishna, you took away all my money. Now, second thing you can see, he says, Bare zhale deva baila karkasha. It is good that my wife is always fighting with me. Is any husband will say like that in front of wife? So Tukaram Maharaj is writing Abhanga. Definitely his wife Avli must have read that. He says, Bare zhale deva baila karkasha. Zhali hai avamana janamade. Because his wife used to scold him in front of people. Just imagine, he is such a great saint, but she used to scold him in front of people. What is this all time chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna? Do some business, do something for your family. In front of people who used to come to offer him honor. So he used to get honor from people, but scolding from his wife. So it's not a new thing. And then his first wife had already died. So he writes about that. Bare zhale deva bail meli. He said, it is good that my wife died. Can any husband will say like that? Nobody. And shouldn't also say. That's only Tukaram. That's only Tukaram. Deve Maya Sodavili. Krishna has freed me from the greatest illusion. Now this was his life. And why? Why is that? Because of his love for Krishna. It doesn't mean that he was irresponsible. But this is the way he accepted the situation in life. He didn't blame God for anything happening bad in his life. Normally anything happened bad in our life, first thing is, why God did this to me? I'm doing so many, God, I go for yatra, I give some more donation, I do this, this japa, this, that. Why God is doing bad to me? Everybody says that. But you do not even know who that God is. We do not have developed any relationship with Him. Then how you will understand why He is doing with you all those things? And if we hear what God says, you will not try to become happy in this world. You will not try to become happy in this world. Means the way you think happiness is. There is other way of becoming happy in this world. But the way people think happiness today is earning money, getting prestige in society, big things. Nothing wrong with that. But that is not the purpose of life. That is a mean to achieve the purpose of life. So, and all these things are coming to, one or the other day are coming to in our life. 100%. Because Krishna had stamped this word which nobody can change. Dukhalayam ashashvatam. Everything in this world ends in misery. Of that thing? Everything in this world. If you don't, you will get. But why you wait to get the experience? Krishna is already telling. He has created the word, Aham Sarvasva Prabhu. And He Himself is telling that this world is full of miseries. Right? So, Dukhalayam ashashvatam. Even if you get some happiness, it is temporary. It will be there today, tomorrow it will be gone. Correct? In India, just before I came here, I was reading one of the greatest actress of our time. You know, she was begging in a train. So this, everything can change in one day. And that happened in Tukaram's life, 3 years. Everything changed. But he accepted. And he more came closer to Krishna. So, that is why Krishna is saying, Tuka mane ale ghara vaikunta savale. I have a Krishna in my house. Now, what you will lack when Krishna is in your house? You will definitely, Krishna will not do that to us. He will do that to Tukaram. He will not do that to us. But the point you have to understand, most valuable thing to have in a life is Krishna, is Vittala. Krishna and Vittala are the same. Krishna, he came to Pandharpur, विटेवरी ठेला तोची विठ्ठला म्हणून तो विठ्ठल झाला. बाकीचं काय नाही, तोच कृष्ण आणि विठ्ठल तोच आहे. So he is the same person. So if you have Krishna, the first priority in our life to have Krishna and be with Krishna. Everything else is there, is His. And when Krishna is with us, we understand that everything is His. And then we can use in His service. So that is Krishna consciousness. So now these Abhangas, Tukaram, he sends with ministers. And that ministers, they go to Shivaji Maharaj and he gives this Abhanga to Shivaji Maharaj. Now just as I said, if Joe Biden receives this letter from Tukaram Maharaj or Narendra Modi, that you are the same as ant, See, how angry they will become. But because he know what sadhu is, because he know what dharma is, Shivaji Maharaj became more humble. By listening to this, he developed more eagerness to see Tukaram Maharaj. He didn't develop anger. He didn't become angry. He didn't feel insulted. He was a king. Everybody was respecting him. So here Tukaram Maharaj is writing, you are like an ant, So he didn't become angry. He became more humble. And then he thought, maybe because I sent a representative, I sent my ministers, therefore probably Tukaram didn't accept any of these gifts. But I'm a king. If I go there, if I offer, he will accept. He will accept it. Sometimes what happens in Maharashtra, लग्नाला बोलवलं तर आपण जातो. दुसऱ्याकडनं सांगायला तो कुठं सांगितलं आहे आपल्याला काय जाण्याचा अर्थ आहेत, त्याने कुठं निमंत्रण दिलं आहे मला, असा थोडा राग असतो ना मनामध्ये, बरोबर आहे. तर so Shivaji Maharaj thought like that. He said, if I go, probably because I didn't go, Tukaram Maharaj didn't accept. He felt probably insulted or something. So if I go and offer all these things to him, then definitely he will accept. So therefore, Shivaji personally came. He came with his ministers and he came, at time Tukaram was also in Lohgaon. and Shivaji Maharaj is coming on his horse and with his ministers. He brought the same thing, and he again he came and respectfully he touched his Tukaram. That's a very famous picture, He touched the feet of Tukaram, and Shivaji Maharaj offered sandalwood pulp on Tukaram's head. He offered him garland and offered him respect. And Tukaram also very humbly seated him. And then at that Shivaji Maharaj said, I am staying in Sinhgad and I have come to take your darshan. So Tukaram Maharaj was very happy. And he offered the same thing to him. So now Tukaram Maharaj is directly talking. So one thing about Tukaram Maharaj is there. Whatever he spoke is always a abhanga. Sahaja bolne, Tukaram Maharaj writes himself. Sahaja bolne, even simple talking was like an abhanga of Tukaram. So everything is wrote. There used to be many people, to write down or something. So Tukaram Maharaj says, Sahaja bolne, hachi upadesha. Saintly people, even they talk simple things, still that is a instruction. So here he says, Kaya dila theva amala vittalachi hava. He said, what you are offering it to me? I want Vittal. He says, Tumi kalilesi udara, I heard that you are very magnanimous. I heard that you are very generous. He said, Sati parisachi gara. So you are asking gold from me. Whatever I have is more than a gold. And you are offering me a gargoti, we call it as a stone, in one kind of a stone. You are offering me a stone. Now Shivaji Maharaj was not offering a stone actually. He was offering him a gold, rubies and silver and everything and ornaments. So Tukaram is saying, you are comparing, and then he says very important. He says, Jiva deta tari. Even if you give your life to me, then he says, Vachana naye ek sari. It is not equal to even insignificant thing I have. Now what he has in his house? Nothing. Now he's telling it to Shivaji, even if you give your life to me, even if you give your life, it is not comparing to what even insignificant I have with me. He had no food to even eat in the evening. What to speak in the evening? Even after 1 hour, he don't know what to eat in lunch. That's his life. And he's telling that to Shivaji Maharaj. And then he says, whatever is offered. What is he saying? Go mamsa samana. Whatever is offered is like a flesh of a cow. Means disgusting. Tukamane amma dhana. All the opulence in this world is like a gomamsa samana. He said, this is the most important abhanga, which is the central point of my whole lecture today. So this is the inspiration Shivaji Maharaj got, and then he went on to establish Hindu Swarajya. So what Tukaram Maharaj is saying, Amhi tene sukhi. Any Warkari tradition here? Anybody from Warkari tradition? They know this sloka. Yes. So he say, Amhi tene sukhi. If you want to make me happy, what I want you to do? Mana Vittala Vittala Mukhi. Just chant the name of Vittala. That's it. That can make me happy. So see how it is easy to please a sadhu. But do you see any sadhu today pleased by just chanting Vittala? They are all cheaters, they give them all money and all these things, and they ran away with somebody or something. This is real sadhu. He don't want anything. He is pleased when you chant the name of God. He is pleased when you become God conscious. He is pleased when you are offering everything to God. He is pleased to see that you are understanding, developing your relationship with God. So he said, Amhi tene sukhi mana vittala vittala mukhi. He said, I'll be happy if you just chant Hare Krishna or just chant the name of Vittala. Tumche yer vitta dhana. This all what you are offering it to me, all the opulence you are offering it to me, je mazam mrutti ke samana. This is like a illusion to me. Now everybody had heard about Mirage, that we call, what do you call it in Marathi? Panayamade Mrugajal. Everything is like a Mrugajal to me. So our life is like a Mrugajal, mirage. It likes that it is coming, but when you go there, it is ahead again. You go there, it is again gone. In this whole pursuit, we don't find any happiness. We think that, oh, we'll work hard, we'll find happiness. But that will never come, because Krishna has stamped this word as a dukhalayam. Now, whatever happiness we feel is actually a drunkard's happiness. You know what is drunkard's happiness? You know, when somebody is drunk, even if in India, especially he is falling on the side of the gutter, what is he thinking? I am happy, I am dancing with Apsaras, you know, I am in Swarga. But people, those who are not drunk, they think, poor guy. So sadhus look at me or us like that person. He is in illusion thinking he is happy, but he is not happy, he is drunk. Now we are not drunk liquor or anything, but we have drunk something else called false prestige or false ego. That's the bigger. दारू दुसऱ्या दिवशी उतरेल पण हे उतरत नाही. So Tukaram is saying, तुमचे येर वित्त धन मज मृत्तिके समान. Now these two lines are more important in this abhanga than the whole abhanga. Kanti mirva tulsi. He said, wear kanti mala, tulsi mala. Everybody Maharashtrian should have kanti mala, because it is the order of Tukaram followed by Shivaji Maharaj, and both are idols, right? दोघांचा आपण गौरव करतो. Kanti mirva tulsi. Now what does that mean? Oh, you can buy in the store for how much? $5, $2, whatever. That is not wearing kanti. No, you can buy that for $5. In India, 50 paisa. You know. So what does that mean? So this means mirva tulsi. Tulsi is at the feet of Krishna and Vittala always, right? That position you become. Accepting a tulsi mala means I have accepted voluntarily to be the servant of Krishna, to be at his lotus feet, to bind by him. Our spiritual master Srila Prabhupada says, just like in India there are stray dogs and there are dogs, pet dogs. So what is the difference between two, you know? The pet dogs have their belt. Tukaram also says the same thing. Ami deva gharche shwan bhunkito harinama. We are dogs, you know. So you are protected. You are like a protected. Yamaraj will not come close to you. If he sees this, he will run away. But not just $5 kantimala. You have to behave like that. Don't think that I don't want Yamaraj, so better I have kantimala now. No. When you behave like that. So this means kanti mirva tulsi. He said we should have tulsi. And whoever wears tulsi is called Vaishnava. Vaishnava is not a religion or anything, is not a जात असी वगैरह नहीं है. Vaishnava means devotee of Vishnu. Vaishnava. So Kanti Mirva Tulsi, Vrata Kara Ekadashi. Now he is telling it to Shivaji Maharaj, so it also applies to us. Ekadashi Vrata Kara. 15 दिवसातनं एकदा एकादशी येते. एकादशी व्रत करा. आणि एकादशीच्या दिवशी व्रत म्हणजे काय असतं? आता उपास आणि उपवास दोन वेगळे गोष्टी आहेत. उपास म्हणजे काय आहे? उपाशी राहणे. उपवास मूळ शब्द आहे उपवास. उप म्हणजे जवळ, जवळ बसणे, टी व्हीच्या जवळ. आज माझा उपवास आहे, टी व्ही लावून बसलो मी माझ्या. उपवास याचा अर्थ आहे भगवंताच्या जवळ बसणे. म्हणजे त्या दिवशी जास्त हरिकथा ऐकणे, भगवद्गीता भागवत वाचणे, हरिनामाचा जप करणे. दॅट इज व्हॉट यू डू ऑन एकादशी. यू इन्क्रीज युअर डिवोशन. Do some tapasya that day. Minimum eating, minimum sleeping. Lessen your activities for the body. So you will realize that you are not this body. Now what is happening? How you will realize when you are giving everything to the body, you are not the body? You cannot. Human life is to realize I am not this body. So if you provide everything body wants, how you will realize that you are not this body? So therefore Dharma instills tapasya. You do voluntary, little bit, it is not expected too much. Little bit, I will eat only one time. Oh, time is saved. How much time goes on eating? Half an hour. And cook that, it takes 1 hour. So 1.5 hours, I can increase, I can read Bhagavatam, which I don't do normally. I chant extra. That is upavas, staying near God, not upas. Phakt kai na khane, it is not upas. So that is what Vrata Kara Ekadashi. And what should be your position in the society? That is what he is saying. Manava hariche dasa. You should recognize that I am a servant of Krishna. Everybody wants to become a master in this world. But we never become master of the world. Actually, we become servant of our senses. And we think master of this world. Such a great illusion. Actually, we become servant of our senses, not everything. We think I am controlling a big estate or big thing. But actually, that is for what? For our sense gratification. Because our senses want that to enjoy. To enjoy that enjoying mentality, we are accumulating everything. So that means we are listening to the senses. So we are senses, servant of the senses. So you are a servant in this world, no matter what. Now you have to decide whether you want to become a servant of your senses or servant of the person who our natural instinct is. Our natural instinct is to serve Krishna. As a soul, we are a servant of the super soul, Paramatma. So in this way that is our real designation. Manava hariche dasa. So identify always. He is saying this to Shivaji Maharaj. So of course he is telling us to us also. Manava hariche dasa. Recognize yourself as a servant of Vittha, servant of Krishna. Tuka mane maj hichi asa. This is only my desire. So he is telling it to Shivaji Maharaj. Now you heard, anything you felt? Did you feel that you will change your life? You will live according to what Tukaram Maharaj is saying? Anybody want to follow these things in their life? Correct? You can be a king also. Shivaji Maharaj was a king. He followed this. Correct? So you followed this. You know what happened to Shivaji Maharaj? He immediately joined ISKCON. He called his ministers and he told them, I have understood the purpose of my life now. I don't want to go back and rule the kingdom or anything. Take this Raj Mukuta. He put it on the floor on the feet of Tukaram. He said, I surrender everything to you and I will stay with you all of my life. And he sent a letter to his mother Jizau, who is on Segad. And all the ministers, they say everybody do Mazara to Shivaji. Here Shivaji is surrendering his whole mukut, Raj Mukut at the feet of Tukaram. He kept it. He was so convinced this is the purpose of life. I'll just listen to Krishna, I'll chant Hare Krishna, staying with Tukaram Maharaj, always be in his service. That's my whole life now. Forget about Hindu Swaraj and everything. That's not important. Why he's thinking like that? He says, you can conquer the whole world, but you cannot conquer your mind. Conquering whole world is easy, but conquering your own mind is difficult. And one who conquers his own mind, he conquers the whole world, like Tukaram. Because why we worship Tukaram even after 400 years? Because he conquered his mind and he taught us how to control our mind, how to conquer our mind. So therefore, Shivaji Maharaj became so impressed with Tukaram's philosophy and his humbleness, his kindness, and all his knowledge. Immediately surrendered everything to him. And he wrote a letter to Jizau, who said, Matoshri, आजपासून मी तुकाराम महाराजांच्या चरणाचा आश्रय घेण्याचा ठरवलेला आहे. मी संन्यस्त आश्रम स्वीकारलेला आहे आणि मी येणार नाही, क्षमा करा. Please forgive me, I am not coming back. So all these people, they went to Jizau. Now she started crying. Because the whole dream of her existence was to make him a king, not for selfish, my son is a king. Not for that purpose, to protect the Bhagavad Dharma, to protect the temples, to protect the woman, protect the culture. His mother wanted him to become a king. Now, she started crying. He said, what, Shiva, what you have done? I have spent, that time he was about 17, 18 years old. He said, I have done all my life austerity to make you, to bring you to this stage, and now you went and just sat in Tukaram Maharaj ashram. You want to be with him all the time. So she started crying. Then she said, take a palanquin, palki gya, apan sagde jao. So they sat in a palanquin and they all came to Lohogaon where Tukaram and Shivaji was there. Now Tukaram is there. Till then the 4 days were gone. It took 4 days to go that, give that message and Jizao to come to where Tukaram was. Now Tukaram is sitting there and Shivaji is just absorbed every word that Tukaram has to say. And every word Tukaram will say is connected to Krishna. Sadhu never speaks anything other than connected to Krishna, nothing else. He has nothing to do with anything else. His only motto, his heart is Krishna. So Tukaram and Shivaji, they were they were taking each other's association, and he became so much impressed by Tukaram. So he wanted to hear more. So Krishna Katha, if you hear little bit, that will give you eagerness to hear more, hear more, hear more. So why? Because that is, we want to hear something glorious. Everybody wants to hear something glorious. So there is no one glorious than Krishna and Rama. No one. But we do not know. Therefore we hear about Sunil Gavaskar, Sachin Tendulkar, I don't know in America, Amitabh Bachchan, I don't know who is in America, but I'm telling all Indian references. Therefore we want to hear about these people, because we do not know Krishna, what he did. What they did is insignificant to what Krishna and Rama has done. So we have to hear them, and where are we can hear about them? Ramayana and Mahabharata. So therefore Jizao, from the very beginning, even before Shivaji Maharaj was born, he was reading Mahabharata and Ramayana. So now she said, I have brought you to this situation. You are out becoming a king in some time, and now you are going there and becoming a Virakta. You just have to give up everything and just stay with Tukaram. This is not good. I will go and I will talk to Tukaram and bring him back. So Jizao, she came in a palanquin, and she offered obeisances to Tukaram, and Shivaji was not there at that time. And in Marathi they say Padar Pasarla, She just spread her sari and he says, please give my Shiva back. He just started to establish the Hindu Swarajya. And if he becomes a Vairagi, if he becomes a brahmachari and stays with you, what will happen to those girls who are being raped by all these Yavanas and Ganimas? And what will happen to all the farmers whose food is being stolen and jazya, all this imposed on them? And so many atrocities are going on. He just has begun his kingdom. So please give Shiva back to me. And Tukaram said, I never said anything to him. I didn't ask him to stay here. He just stayed here. Then he said, don't worry. I know what Shiva is doing. I have heard many good things about him. And you attend today's unique kirtan and pravachan. Then we'll talk about it. So in the evening, Tukaram was giving pravachan. And he will start his pravachan with kirtan. And then he will talk from Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, Mahabharata, Ramayana. Mostly Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So he started explaining the verse Chaturvarna Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha. He started explaining the Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that he established these 4 varnas and 4 ashrams. There are 4 varnas that Brahman, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. And there are 4 ashrams, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanprastha and Sannyas. So why those are made? For the betterment of society. Everybody is not same, no matter how you try. Everybody is not same. Everybody has a different capacities, different qualification. So according to that, you use it. But what is the purpose of all this? Sonasitasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. So Tukaram is saying, you can be a kshatriya, you can be a grihastha, you can do any profession you are. You don't need to change your profession. You don't need to change whatever you are doing. Are you happy to hear that? Right? Okay. Don't think that I will make you like a Shivaji Maharaj and make you stay here. Okay. So, be in your profession. Become perfect in your profession. Stay in a home as a grihastha. Just change a consciousness. Change in your consciousness. That is what is important. Nothing you have to change. You don't have to go back to India if you don't want. That's fine. Okay. So you want to stay in Seattle, settle in Seattle, but don't think that Seattle is a settlement place. This is a temporary place. Our settlement place is Vaikuntha. Correct? We have to go back to Vaikuntha. We have come from there. We have to go back to there. So what we have to do? We have to practice in our life. So Tukaram is saying, Sonusitasya dharmasya, no matter wherever you are, no matter what is your profession is. So he said, Amhito karava upadesha. It is a duty of a Brahmana to practice and preach religion. It is a duty of a Brahmana. Amhito karava upadesha. आणि आपण सांभाळावा क्षात्र धर्म. You are a warrior. You are not expected to sit in temple and be like a sannyasi or brahmachari. You fight. Same Krishna told to Arjuna, you fight. But for what? You have to fight. But for what? Therefore he gave this instruction. Understand, you are the servant of God. You fight for that. Establishing the principles of religion and helping the people, those who are following the principles of religion. That's your duty. And that is how you have to protect dharma. Now people in India think protecting temple is a dharma. Protecting temple is not a dharma. Protecting what is going inside the temple is dharma. Not a building. Many people, yesterday somebody was asking me, so do you think it is Krishna's arrangement that all the Muslims came and destroyed Hindu's temple? No. They didn't destroy they destroyed the building. They didn't destroy the culture. Culture is still there. So if that culture is going on in the temple, then that temple has a value. Otherwise, just a building. So Muslims, the invader, they saw it as a building. But those who are Sanatan, Bhagavad practitioners, they didn't see them just as a building. They saw it as a place of God. And that God is still existing, and that principles are still existing. Nothing is lost. Therefore, this Sanatana Dharma, Bhagavad Dharma culture is never lost, because it is established by Krishna himself. That cannot be destroyed by anything. It's the good desire of Krishna. So he was telling so many examples like that. And after the pravachan, Shivaji Maharaj came to Tukaram Maharaj, and he said, I realized through your mouth Krishna is speaking, because through the mouth of sadhu God speaks. Now I realize my duty. I have to do my dharma. I have to establish the principles of religion, and I have to establish Hinduvi Swarajya. So therefore, I will accept it as a desire of Krishna. He Rajya Bhave Heto Srinchi Ichha, Maji Ichha Nahi. Must Srinchi Ichha asel. If it is a desire of God, you have to understand what is the desire of God. Don't make your desire God as a desire of God. Whatever I desire, that you should not make, oh, that is the desire of God. To understand what is the desire of God, here Rajya Baba is Srinchi Ichha. So we have to understand what is Srichi Ichha. So therefore Srichi Ichha is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Therefore Tukaram says, Gita Bhagavata Kariti Sravana Akhanda Chintana Vitovache. We should read at least one sloka from Bhagavad Gita every day, no matter how busy you are. Otherwise, how are you going to be a servant of God? Otherwise, how are you going to serve Him staying in this society? If your consciousness is not knowing who is God, how are you going to understand how you have to serve? So therefore, Shivaji Maharaj said, now I understood. Then Tukaram gave him his mukut back, and Shivaji Maharaj put it on his head, and he went back. He Rajya Bhave He Srichi Ichha. And therefore he established Hinduvi Swarajya. And what is that Swarajya? Whatever Tukaram Maharaj is preaching, Shivaji is protecting. That is how both of them work together. That is how. Now Shivaji is an example. Now see coincident. In Krishna is telling Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, who is also Kshatriya. Correct? Krishna didn't tell him. He had many wives, 3 wives. He didn't tell him to give up your family life. He didn't even say, give up everything. In fact, he wanted to give up everything. He said, no, you are a Kshatriya, but fight. For whom? Protecting Dharma. And for protecting Dharma, First you have to practice it. Then, and that is, the famous verse, Dharmo Rakshati Rakshita. I heard about it. It's the motto of Vishwa Hindu Parishad. I also, before I coming to ISKCON, my half life was in RSS and Vishwa Hindu Parishad. so Vishwa Hindu, that is their motto, Dharmo Rakshati Rakshita. What does it mean? How to protect Dharmo Rakshati Rakshita? Now Sanskrit, Pandit may churn on that many ways, So what is, by practicing Dharma, you are protecting Dharma. Dharmo Rakshati. If you practice Dharma, Dharma will protect you. Otherwise, it's like if you take medicine, medicine will protect you. Don't just say medicine is in my house, medicine is in my house, medicine. That will not protect. You have to take that medicine. That is the protection. Atta kya hai? Garv se ko hum Hindu hai. We have a medicine, but nobody practices. Then what is the use of that garva? If you are not practicing Hinduism, if you are not practicing Bhagavad Gita, if you are not practicing, now wherever I go, I ask this question. Anybody knows who established Islam? No, I want it from audience. Who is the originator of ISKCON? Muhammad Paigambar? You're right. Who established Christianity? Jesus Christ. Now all of you are Hindu, right? Who established Hinduism? No one. See, we are Hindus, we don't even know who established Hinduism. See? Now, how many people have heard this Dharma Samsthapanarthaya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge? Heard it? Krishna is clearly telling, I am establishing this Dharma. Hindu Dharma is established by Krishna. Of course, he didn't say Hindu, but that is what we accept Bhagavad Gita for a book of our Hindu. So how we can say there is nobody established Hinduism? Krishna is clearly telling, I am establishing and I come to protect it. We know this verse. We don't know who established Hinduism. Correct? Now you don't say that. I don't know who established Hinduism. Okay? Then Dharma. So that is Dharma, correct? Krishna is saying, Dharma Samsthapanarthaya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. He appears here to establish the principles of erection. And Bhagavatam it is said, Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. What is Dharma? Following the laws of God. Simple. Correct? Following the laws of God. And where are those laws given? In Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Very simple. Just like in your house you have some rules and regulations. In the society there are some rules and regulations. In a country there are some rules and regulations. Internationally there are some rules and regulations. We know about that. But beyond that is the universe. So they have some rules and regulations too. And where are those established? In Bhagavad Gita. Because he is the creator of everything what we see. Okay. So that is what now king's duty. Now king is a representative of Krishna. He is respected as, like he is also called Maharaj. Like a Sadhu is called Maharaj. King is also called Maharaj. What does that mean? That means they are the servants of Krishna. Now king don't consider himself the owner. Manava Vithobache Dasa. In that humble way, then you don't exploit people for politics. You don't exploit people for your own things. You serve them. And how you serve them? To make sure they practice the principles of religion in their home. That's it. That is why ruling is very easy. That in Bhagavatam, there is a story of a Ambarish Maharaj. Ambarish Maharaj, he was not only India's king, he was the king of the universe. And you know what whole day he was doing? Whole day he was serving Krishna. Now Narendra Modi works for 18 hours. All the time he is thinking about so many things. He don't even serve 24 hours. So this Ambarish was 24 hours engaged in Bhakti. And still he was the king of the universe. How it is possible? It is very difficult to understand. He spends all of his day with sadhus and temple and hearing the katha. And still he is a king. How it is possible? It is possible if all the society is doing the same thing. Everybody is chanting Hare Krishna. Everybody is in the temple, enjoying, doing kirtan, eating prasad, engaged in making garlands and everything. So king has no duty to do. Correct. There is no complaints. Nobody is fighting because everybody is serving the Lord. So that is in Satya Yuga. It is not possible. But that is what the center point is, serving God, because everything is coming from God. In your life, whatever you have, including your own body, is coming from God. So purpose of life is to understand that. So Shivaji Maharaj, he said, thank you, Tukaram. He knew, but he said, I understood the purpose of my life. And I will run the kingdom as a servant of Vithala, as a servant of Krishna. And then he went back. Now the second time, again, after some time, Tukaram Maharaj came. How many of you have seen this movie, Tukaram? If you have not seen, please go and see it. There is a scene where when Tukaram was in Kirtan, you know that, and the Yavanas attack. So that also happened in Pune. So now that's why I said I will take you to Pune today. Everything, all these things, they happened in Pune. So then again, after some time, this thing happened after about 4 years after Tukaram first visit. So the next time, I am getting hot. So Tukaram again came to, he was in a Pune, in a big Vada, big house, somebody's house, he was doing Kirtan. And Tukaram Maharaj came to know, Shivaji Maharaj came to know that I have not met my Guru for so long. So better I should go now and I should meet him. So he came to meet Tukaram at that time. And at that time he had Kantimala. He was doing Ekadashi. And he was, of course, every day Tukaram was reading Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, for your knowledge. Because her mother made it principle. She is the one who gave him all this knowledge. So when second time came, Tukaram was there, and he came in the morning. They had discussions about how the Rajyamadhe kaj challe, what is going on in the kingdom and everything, and how the people are joining his army, and he explained everything. So Tukaram's interest is whether you are following Dharma and you are practicing Dharma and you are protecting Dharma. So that was Tukaram is asking questions to him. So then in the evening, Tukaram is explaining that again evening Tukaram was talking. He was talking on the verse of Padam Padam Yat Vipadam Natesham. In this material world, every step there is a danger. How many have experienced that? Everything you do has some impediments. Is it not? Everything is danger. Everything is danger. Everything you do. So, purpose of understanding Dharma is to how to cross those impediments. In what consciousness? Impediments will come no matter what. Whether you are devotee or non-devotee, it doesn't matter. But how to cross those impediments in God consciousness. The way God, Krishna is guiding. So Tukaram Maharaj is explaining, he said every minute, second in this world is eating our life. So Kala is also called snake, Kala Sarpa. There is one ritualistic ceremony called Kala Sarpa. What exactly Kala Sarpa is, just like all of you must have seen snake, if not person, at least in some pictures or somewhere. So if you see the snake, a snake is going. So what do you do when you see the snake? You stand in front of him, you start running. Why? He is not even 1/4 of your body, but we are still afraid of him. So Kala Sarpa is like that. Kala is also like a snake. So why we are afraid of snake? Because he will eat me. He will bite me. So, Kala Sarpa, time is also like a sarpa, snake. So, he is eating our life. That's what Tukaram are saying, every kshana, every moment, every minute, he is eating. And just like he's saying, a cat is waiting for a rat to come out of the hole. It's just going to whoop like that, right? So similarly, time is just waiting when to take you. Is like a, just you can see like a cat, he's just like eka panjavarti ubha hota na. He's always ready outside the hole where the rats are there. You cannot see that scene in Seattle, but if back in home you can see this scenes even in villages. So even the cat is standing right outside a rat's hole when he comes, and he knows that. So time is like that. He is on everybody's head. He is ready to catch us at the last minute. So Tukaram Maharaj is saying like that. Or just like the fishes are swimming in the water, but they don't know their death is standing right on their head. Bagala. What do you call him? Crane. Crane is standing. He stands like a yogi, right? So fish are they are like fearless. He is standing like this. But in 1 second, it just picks him up. He said, that is human's life in this world. How many people cry, Asa achanak kasa gela? That is Tukaram explaining. Achanak kasa gela. That is the life in this world. Tukaram is saying. He said, we do not know when this time will capture us and take us away from this world. Time don't consider your family, your job, your money, your prestige, your position, your opulence, nothing. He just takes you away. You have to leave everything. So, so therefore, whatever we see, this is Tukaram is saying, whatever we see in this world is all Nashavanta. So what happens, what Nashavanta means? That is not destroyed. Our relationship with that is destroyed. Because that thing belongs to Krishna. So therefore many people say, like those who have little religious understanding, they say, अरे काय जन्माच्या वेळेला पण काय घेताना येऊन घालू नये, जाताना पण काय घेऊन जाणार नाही, पण असेच तोपर्यंत माझं आहे. तर येताना if you didn't bring it when you come and you are not going to take it when you are going dying, so you have to find out who it belongs to and use it in his service. That's the purpose of life, right? So therefore Tukaram Maharaj the same thing. He said everybody should understand that everything is Nashavanta and temporary. Said intelligent person who wants to become free from that. So everybody don't desire that. Therefore you don't see many devotees in the world. So simple process, nothing has to change our consciousness. But Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita also, Buddhiman, only people, those who are intelligent, they accept to this path. So Tukaram Maharaj is saying the same thing. Those who are intelligent, they should try to understand this. Everything in this material world is dukhalayam ashashvatam, temporary and destroyed. So what to do? They should take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. Understanding everything belongs to him. And it is not understanding, it is a fact. Everything belongs to Krishna, nothing belongs to us. Correct? Now everybody of us, we think, in India, I think it's the same principle in America, what we own is ours. No. Government can seize anything at any time from you. Do you know that? If there is an emergency, if America has to go war, he has no money, he can take all your money and everything. He can use your houses for military. Correct? Everything on paper is, even on the note you get, is the property of, is not your property. In note it is written. What is it written? In Marathi, in India, it is property of Reserve Bank of India. We think it is my property. It is the property of government. So in higher principle, everything is the property of Krishna. Everything. It belongs to him. So Tukaram Maharaj says, try to understand that. And therefore, we get entangled in this problem and we suffer birth, old age, disease and death. These are the problems we have. And how many people we try to solve this problem. So he said, if you want to become free from that, then only you have to understand Mamai Vamsho Jivaloke. We are all part and parcel of Krishna and engage in his service. And as he was telling this, there is a danger of every moment. Tukaram was telling this, and this was a topic. And at that time, the Muslim king was in Pune. He was in Chakan, Badshah. Chakan, Pune people know what Chakan is, right? So he was there was his kingdom. So about 2,000 soldiers have come, Muslim soldiers have come from there. And it is very difficult to, capture Shivaji. It's not possible. So Shivaji is using enemy also, his enemy also tried on that. So he says easily cannot capture Shivaji, but now he is, from their secret agent, what is called Gupta here, spy. From spy, that king heard that now Shivaji Maharaj is with Tukaram Maharaj. So that is a good place to attack him and capture him. So they came and they surrounded the whole Wada with 2,000 soldiers. And Shivaji Maharaj, very few, 10, 15 of his soldiers were inside. And nice kirtan is going on. They're chanting the name of Vittala and pravachan is going on. And he told about this topic, kirtan is going on. Now at that time, one of Shivaji's spy comes and tells him, now Maharaj, you are sitting in the kirtan, but this whole Wada is, circumambulated by, it's completely under control of our enemy. It's very difficult to escape. You cannot do anything. So, Shivaji Maharaj is not afraid. He goes to Tukaram, touches his feet, and he tells him that, see, the whole area is completely captured by our enemy. Now, Tukaram, he knows who can do something, So he starts praying to Krishna. Right? He says this Abhanga, and at that time he's saying, Na dekhave dola aisaha akanta. I cannot see what akanta means, what unfortunate situation has fallen on all these people, those who are have here to attend the kirtan and pravachan. He said, Parapide chitta dukha hote. This is the heart of a sadhu. Parapide chitta dukha hote. Means sadhu, who is a sadhu? Who is hurt by seeing everybody's miseries. He has no misery. Sadhu has no misery. He is always happy because he is always thinking about God. But he always feels misery. He always feels bad because people are not accepting, they are not serving God, and that's for they are suffering. So Tukaram Maharaj, he said, whole purpose of his preaching is in 2 words. Budati he jana pahavena dola manuni kadwala yet ase. That's the heart of a preacher. What is he thinks? Budati he jana, people are drowning. Even though they are driving Mercedes car, but sadhu sees they are drowning. We don't see we are driving Mercedes, but sadhu sees they are drowning. That's the sadhu's high vision. Just I told you about the drunkard and those who is not drunk. So that is higher vision. Therefore he is saying, parapide dukkha hote. So dekhave budati he jana pahavena dola. He said, I cannot see people, those who are falling in illusion. Dukkha hota is I'm hurt. And then in another Abhanga he is saying, Jagatari Amha Deva. Everybody in this world I see them as a part and parcel of God. Parinindito swabhava. I criticize them. What he criticizes, just like I am also criticizing you in one sense. Correct? So, why? Yeto hitacha kadwala. Because I am concerned about their future. I am concerned how they are wasting their life. I am concerned how they have got human form of life and they do not know how to utilize it. And therefore, yeto hitacha kala padati hati manoni kala. So they are all caught. Time factor is influencing. So he is saying here that parapude chitta, but I have no Fear. Then in next, he's saying, Bhit nahi ami apulya marana. I am not afraid of death. So this courage has to be there in your mind and heart before you get old. You cannot do that when you get old. Therefore, we practice bhakti as soon as you become young. Correct? People think, old, बूढ़ा होने पे करेंगे. It's not possible. बूढ़ा होने पे क्या करेंगे? पूरा फोकस करेंगे. उसके लिए तैयारी अभी से करनी चाहिए. फोकस बुढ़ापे में करो, लेकिन तैयारी अभी करनी चाहिए. So that is what Tukaram is saying. भीत नहीं आता आपुल्या मरना. I am not afraid about death. Then why is afraid of? They is saying, दुखी होता जन न देखवे. I cannot see people miserable. I cannot see people miserable. And then he says, what is more difficult for him? What is more troublesome for him than the death? See, this is sadhu's heart, and that is his consciousness. What is he saying? Bhajani vikshepa techipai marana. If I don't remember Krishna for a vikshepa, kshana, one moment if I forget Krishna, that is worse pain to me than the death. How many of us are afraid of death? The saint is afraid of forgetting Krishna. That is worse than, more painful than forgetting Krishna, than the death, forgetting Krishna. Just imagine how much he is attached to the chanting of the holy name. He don't want to give it up, even at the cost of his own death. He says, giving up chanting is worse than death. That much chanting is valuable. That much chanting is valuable. How serious we should be in our chanting. Because Tukaram Maharaj said, I will accept death if I have to chant whole of my life. So this is saying, Bhajani vikshepa techipai marana, na vajava kshana ek vaya. I don't want to even spend one moment without the remembrance of Krishna. And that is more than death to me. Now Krishna, Tukaram is saying this all abhangas to him. Now Krishna, he knows everything. Correct. And what happens, now Shivaji Maharaj is coming and telling this to Tukaram. Now Krishna is worried of his devotee. More than devotee is worried of himself. We do not know that. I'll give you an example how Krishna takes care of everybody's life. One example. All 18 days war of Mahabharata. You can see how Krishna is taking care of each and everyone. How Krishna has planned everybody's life. We don't understand how. It's very difficult to understand. Even a leaf don't move without God's permission. And God is controlling our life. One example I'll give. We can have like 18 hours of discussion on Mahabharata on that topic. All the warriors, how they were killed. But this is just in one example. Duryodhana. You know Duryodhana. So, Dhritarashtra, he had a benediction, correct? He had a body of a steel. Nothing can break his body. You know that, right? He got the benediction from Gandhari, his mother, and Duryodhana. So, at the point when Duryodhana knows, my body is, Gandhari told me that come tomorrow, and if I seize Pativrata, in scripture it is said that is the strength of Pativrata. So he said, I will open my patti, open my band tomorrow, and if I see with my own eyes, whatever part I see, it will become like a steel. Nothing can break it. So Duryodhana was very happy. He is already student of Balaram, who is Gada Yuddha, is learning. So he is going, and he is a grown-up boy at that time. So he is going to see his mother Gandhari. Now Krishna is thinking about devotee's future. If Duryodhana becomes like that, then nobody will be able to kill him. So I have to do something now. Because they are going to fight in future, and I have to do for that now. So he is going there. And Duryodhana, he stops Duryodhana. Where are you going, Duryodhana? He's going naked. He's a grown-up boy. It's not small boy. He's a grown-up boy. He's going, he said, I'm going to see my mother. Oh, really? What's good? So why you're going naked, You cannot go in front of your mother naked. You're not a kid. Like, wear something, at least cover your private parts, So Duryodhana was completely bewildered. Krishna can bewilder anybody at times. So because that is the protection he was giving to Bhima at the end. Bhima was not thinking about this. Pandavas don't even know all this. Krishna is thinking about future. Duryodhana, he said, yes, stop. And Duryodhana, yeah, that's true. I'm going in front of mother. And then he grabbed some, whatever that is, many things are there, to cover his private part and goes in front of Gandhari. And Gandhari removes the, patti band in front of her eyes. And he says, what you have done, Duryodhana? I told you to come naked. Why you come like this? And so whatever that part Gandhari saw, that part became like a still. Now, only 3 people know about this. Krishna was not present. He knows everything. Correct? He was not present there. He arranged all this meeting. Only 2 people know. Third people know, but nobody knows that third person know. Nobody knows this. Only Duryodhana and Gandhari. Only 2 people know. Now come at the end of the war. Now all the warriors are like this. I'm giving you the example. So at the end of the war, everybody is killed and everything. Now Duryodhana is running from Bhima, is hiding in a one pond which is still there. And then Bhima comes there, and both are the students of one Guru, Balaram. They are, they are, one is better than the other. They are fighting. Now Krishna is letting them fight. And then he sees both of them are really tired. At that time, Krishna says to Bhima, he signals him, just fight him, just smash him with your club on his thighs. And this is against the religious principles to beat, smash. But to protect dharma, you have to do adharma. But only under God's permission, not because I want. No, we do break dharma, principles of dharma, because of sense gratification. This is for the protection of dharma. If everybody is killed, if Duryodhana is still staying, the whole point of all the war was Duryodhana. If he is alive, then he is not going to, all the Pandavas are not going to regain what they are supposed to. Now, Krishna remembers and Krishna tells him. Now, how many Bhima even don't know? Nobody knew. Krishna was not present there. So this is how Krishna plans everybody's life. We don't know what is our future, but Krishna knows. Why don't he let us know then? Krishna should give a book, hey, you are born now. This is your whole book. This is, you are going to be, you will be going to school in Symbiosis in Pune. You are going to go to Seattle. You are going to work in Facebook. And like that, he should give all what is in our life. He should give that. Then we will show what are the dangers and we will try to protect them. That's why he don't give you that. He gives you in one line in Bhagavad Gita. No matter what you are doing now, remember Dukhalayam Shashvatam. Whether you are working in Facebook or whatever, Dukhalayam Shashvatam will apply to you no matter whether you are in Pune or in Mumbai or in any state, no matter. Correct? That's the fact. So that is why, I don't know why I came here. Oh, how Krishna is planning. So Krishna has his own plan to protect everybody. We don't know. If you surrender, we know what he wants. If you don't, we don't know what he wants us from us. So therefore, Gita, Bhagavata, we have to read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavat. So then he is saying that, na vajava kshana ekavaya. Now Krishna is thinking all these things are happening. Now Krishna takes a form of a Shivaji. Krishna becomes Shivaji and he comes out of the door and starts running away. Now all these soldiers who are outside the gate standing, oh, Shivaji has come, he's running away. Now Krishna, Vittala has come in the form of Shivaji. Who can run him like him? So he starts running. So first 10 people go, then 20 people go, then all 2,000 people are running behind this Shivaji. Who is Vittala. Now they are seeing Krishna, but they are not recognizing he is Shiva, he is Krishna. Demons, even if Krishna is there, they don't recognize. He is in the form of Shivaji. So he is running. He takes them far, far away and then disappears. So all 2,000 people, they go, where is he gone? Where is he gone? Till then everything is gone. So all the sankat, all that thing, Akanta, came on Shivaji Maharaj was completely, it is taken care of by Krishna. He knew that this is going to happen. And at that time, Shivaji Maharaj goes to Tukaram. He said, because I was your latest feet, that's why Krishna saved me today. So this is an example. This is in short the story of Shivaji and Tukaram. So we learn from both. So many very rare, practically nobody knows that Shivaji also wrote Abhangas. You remember at the end of his life he was very sick. He could not fight. So he went to South India for taking treatment, and in that he died. So he, because of all the Abhangas and all the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, Mahabharata, he was sent in his heart. Therefore king is called Rajarshi. Means they are sent in heart, but they act like a king. Raja and Rishi. So they are previously king were Rajarshis. They are the servants of God. The principle is like that. So therefore, now what is I will end by telling you the teachings of both Shivaji and Tukaram. They are the same. So Shivaji Maharaj is telling, you use your whole body, understanding this is given to you by Krishna. How you use your body? His very famous Abhanga, practically everybody knows. It is sung by Lata Mangeshkar, Bhimsen Joshi, Sudhir Phadke, everybody. But nobody understands how to apply it in our life. Now whenever I say it, I'm not going to sing it, don't worry. So whenever I say it, you will all remember. But only thing is, practice it in your life. That is the teaching of Tukaram. What is he saying? Gheyi gheyi माझे वाचे, गोड नाम विठोबाचे. Correct? Tongue is the gate for all your body. Understand? So what two things we do with the tongue? We eat and we speak. Goes in, goes out. Make these two things pure. Keep your tongue pure. Whole body will be pure. Whatever goes in, if it is pure, comes out, is also pure. So two things you do with the tongue. First thing, we eat. You eat which is offered to Krishna. Naivedya. Whatever you eat, offer it to Krishna. Whatever you eat. Learn to offer. What does that mean? Do you think Krishna he wants to eat Seattle food? No. He means to see your consciousness. That is accepting, oh Lord, I'm doing my karma. I'm offering this fruit to you. That is the beginning of going to the Lord. Every day, whatever you eat, offer it to the Lord. And that food you eat. Previously, in any house, nobody ate a food without offering to Krishna. If you remember your grandmother, grandfather, nobody. It was a system. You cannot eat without offering it to Krishna. Why? Because you become a thief. You're taking it from Krishna and you're not even telling him that I'm taking it from you. So offering is a loving exchange. It is not a force. You offer it to Krishna. Second thing is, you chant in the name of Krishna. Then everything you speak becomes pure. So, घेई घेई माझे वाचे, गोड नामे विठोबाचे. डोळे तुम्ही घ्यारे सुख. Now what spoils our tongue is our dole. Because whatever we see, we want it. Correct? So next thing comes dole. Dole tumi ghyare sukha, paha vitthalache mukha. Take darshan of beautiful deities. In your home you can have deities of Vittal, Rukmini, Radha Krishna, Sitaram. And do service to them, So offer your prayers, offer your prasadam. Dole tumi ghyare sukha, paha vitthalache mukha. And what destroys your eyes? Whatever you hear. Right? This is the process of how the senses go into the illusion. Your ears. So third one is, tumi aikare kana. Now Tukaram Maharaj is telling to his own body. So we should also tell this same thing to our body. तुम्ही ऐका रे कान, ऐका विठ्ठलाचे गुण, गावा विठ्ठलाचे गुण, समथिंग आहे. So you chant the name of Krishna by your tongue. Hear the names of Krishna and Krishna Katha. तुम्ही ऐका रे कान माझ्या विठोबाचे गुण, माझ्या विठोबाचे गुण. To hear about my Vittala, about Krishna. Where is that again? Mahabharata, Ramayana. Correct? Hear about Krishna. Now, where the ear goes, wherever your mind goes. Whatever is in your mind. Correct? That's what you want to hear. That's what you want to see. And that's what you want to test. So, mind. He said, Manate te dhavagei. Mind is traveling all over the world. Everywhere. Even though you are sitting here, you are thinking, oh my God, when is it going to end and what I am going to do, all this. Mind is not like that. Mind is like that. You cannot do anything. So you have to understand, you have to control that mind. Manate te dhavagei rahe vithoba chepai. When your mind is at the feet of Krishna, what happens? Ata kothe dhave man tujhe charan dekhliya. Once your mind is at the feet of Krishna, you don't want to leave him. No matter where you are working, what you are doing, in the background, be at the feet of Krishna. Your mind is where your heart is. So, next one is heart. Right? Everything begins there. Now, Tukaram Maharaj is saying, Tuka mane ya jiva. He is instructing himself. Tuka mane ya jiva, nako sodu tya keshava. Do anything, but don't give up Krishna. Now, what you have done? You have given up Krishna for everything. Correct? So Tukaram is saying, do everything. No matter what. Don't leave Krishna. Tuka maniya jiva, nako sodutya keshava. So this is Tukaram. Okay? Now Shivaji Maharaj is saying, Nashivanta sukhasati. Antarala jagajethi. Just for insignificant sense gratification, we have given up the Jagajeti, the source of the universe, Krishna, just for a little bit. He has so much to give. We are taking little bit and we think that is enjoyment. Krishna has so much enjoyment to give it to us, but we are taking little bit. So, Nashivanta Sukhasati Antarala Jagajeti, Nahi Nahi Yate Godi. There is no sweetness in this word. Laksha Chauryanshija Jodi. Whatever you do, if you don't, next he says, Manushya Janma Gelya Vara, Kai Karshil Bare. Once you lose this human form of life, what you will do? You have got this human form of life after 8,400,000 bodies, 84 laksha yoni. Everyone knows about 84 laksha yoni. So Shivaji Maharaj is saying that what you will do? If you lose this human form of life, he said, Shivaraya Sange Jana. Mya to sodili vyasana. He said, Shivaraya, this is King Shivaji is telling, I have given up the attachment of this world. And now this is what he is writing when he is about to die. So that should be our consciousness when we are about to die. And that is only possible by association of saintly people like Tukaram Maharaj. And every day practicing Gita, Bhagavata, Akhanda Chintana, Vithobache in home. And to take that guidance and to understand how to practice Krishna consciousness in our life. That is why Srila Prabhupada, he traveled all over the world and he established so many temples so that people can come, learn about Bhagavad Gita, learn about Bhagavatam, and learn about how to chant, learn about how to practice Krishna consciousness. So today is the day, if you want, is a turning point in your life. Now you decide, I have given you the truth, whether to practice it or just to give it up, as Shivaji is saying, and go into this illusion again. So sadhu means to awaken. So therefore it is a duty as a humble servant of Srila Prabhupada, we are trying to do that in this world. So there is a wonderful sadhu who stays here. His name is Harivilas Maharaj. So he's very wonderful. He is by birth American. I don't see him now here. By his birth American. He joined ISKCON at the age of 20 or 25 at that. And he's 50 years he's given his own life to practice and preach. And he is the main source behind this temple. So we invite all of you come and take association of all the devotees here. And there are many devotees like see Pradyumna Prabhu, and here is Ram Mukund Prabhu, that is Gauranga Chandra Prabhu. They are all corporates like you, and they follow these principles perfectly in their life, and they practice. They are successful in their career also. So it is not that you have to give up everything to become bhakta or something like that. So we have to learn that. So slowly, steadily, we invite you to practice. That is the whole purpose. Shivaji and Tukaram is just a media to bring you all here and understand this is not a different culture. It's the same culture was followed by your grandmothers and grandfathers. So no matter even if you have given up the place, but the consciousness and the same culture is still, ISKCON is spreading all over the world as it is. Tukaram said, it is not my knowledge. He spoke what Krishna is speaking. Krishna says, become my devotee. Tukaram said, become Krishna's devotee. Prabhupada is saying the same thing, become Krishna's devotee. So our whole life we should surround, just Krishna should be the center of our life, and that is the purpose of whole of today's talk. So now I will stop here, and if you have any questions to ask, ours is not just listen to me. No, if you have any questions, you are welcome to ask. If you have time.
Please raise your hand if you want to ask a question. I'll give you the microphone.
And we don't charge for questions, you know that, right? Because everybody everywhere charge $500 for 5,000 रुपये एका प्रश्नासाठी. आमचं तसं काय नाही. आमचे प्रश्नोत्तर फुकट असतात.
So no one is asking. Okay, I have one question.
No, you are not asking. Are you representing them? No, let them ask. Give them time. They are thinking what to ask. In India, we say that two kind of people don't ask questions. One who understood everything and practice. Second who don't understand anything, they don't ask also. Yes.
So, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, very nice class. My question is little different from this. So even you are practicing bhakti, but most of time you distract from Maya, and the controversy is going on. Like, how I pray to Krishna, I try myself, and still I get distracted. Feel like that progress is not happening. Like, I don't know how to explain. I'm sure.
Yeah. See, Krishna always wants us to keep us struggling, Real warrior, he's waiting for the war. He's always preparing. He's ready. Correct? So, there are two ways to look at. A pure devotee never thinks that he achieved his goal. You always think more and more you practice, more and more you learn. I have so many deficiencies. Or even Bhaktivinoda Thakur, even at the age of his leaving this world, he's saying, Amara Jivana Sada Paperat Naika Punyaralesha. So the advancement is not thinking how much you are pure. Advancement is in thinking how much pure I can become more. That is advancement. And Krishna is, whenever you stand in front of Krishna, Krishna is taking X-ray and giving report right away in your heart. Correct? When you stand, this is what lacking, so you try to improve this. Correct? When you take darshan, Krishna is screening your heart. You understand that, right? Just like you to go to airport, what they do? Surrender to you. And they screen you, right? And they find out something is in your pocket. Remove it. So Krishna, when you come in front of him, he screens you. Oh, you have little bit ego left, so go and clean that, And he will create a situation that you will become angry. Correct? So Krishna is definitely listening to your prayers. Continue. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. You are telling that everything is decided by Krishna, everything is planned by Krishna, and it is dharma. That is what we are actually, he set up this dharma. So even adharma is also his doing, right? He has planned that. So where are our choices? Isn't that is also controlled by Krishna? So what is the difference of that? What are we controlling, and what are we supposed to be doing?
Yes. One day I was giving a lecture in one prison in Karnataka, in Belgaum. And I gave this lecture about I was telling to not people, I was telling to all the prisoners, you know. I forgot to choose my topic. I was talking about everything is done by Krishna, you know. So all these prisoners were thinking, whatever the crime did, it's done by Krishna. Why I am put it in Krishna? Krishna should go to jail. Why I am in jail? Whatever Krishna does, right? So Krishna has done everything. So I gave this whole lecture. And at the end, you know, one prisoner was very shy. So he didn't ask in front of everybody. He came to me after all. And he was a Karnataka, and I am from Belgaum, so I knew. So he was a devotee of Purandara. So he is saying that now Purandara Bhakti Madidine, he is saying that I was doing devotional, I was singing Purandara, that song every time. He said, then why you are here? He said, I killed my brother and my sister and my mother, that's why I am here. And he said, but everything is done by Krishna, he did it, why I am in prison? Just like everybody of you think like that. Why is? Then he said, Krishna came and told you to do that? He said, no. He said, how do you know then Krishna told you to do that? Krishna did it, correct? If you are acting as an instrument of Krishna, you should know what Krishna is telling you, and how you should know how Krishna gets things done from you and what Krishna wants you to do. Therefore, you should read Bhagavad Gita. Correct? You read Bhagavad Gita, you act accordingly. Then Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that Machita sarvadirgani mat prasada tarishyati athachetvam ahankara na sroshasi vinashyati. What is he saying? He said, one who is engaged in devotional service, I will remove all the impediments from his life. Athachetvam ahankaram. But if you don't listen to me, vinashyati, you are destroyed in this world. And then he says, he is telling to Arjuna, now you do whatever you want. But before that, he has told all the Bhagavad Gita. You have to practice whole Bhagavad Gita, and then Krishna is giving you choice to do whatever you want. But if you don't take the choice, if you want to do whatever you want, savinashyati. Krishna is clearly telling that. You are destroyed in this world. You will be part of this world. You will be part of the laws of this world. If you listen to me, if you come to me, I will take you back home, back to Godhead. If you don't listen to me, if you want to become a part of this world, so you are part of this world and you are part of the laws of this world also. You cannot say that I did whatever I am doing is Krishna is doing. Now what does that mean exactly? It means that we have only one independence in our life, desire. Once you desire, cycle goes in the hands of Krishna. That's it. What you desire, then Krishna designs your desire. According to guna karma. Not that I desire millionaire. No, that will not happen. Karma has to be also be like that. So there is a lot. Krishna is you are talking about multitasking. You understand what Krishna's brain is. He is multitasking everybody's life. Right? Once you desire to surrender to Krishna, he takes the reins in his hand. If you desire to Prakriti, then he gives you to Prakriti. Then you are subject to the laws of Prakriti. Whatever is happening, you have to suffer that. Then that also Krishna arranges. Maya dhakshena Prakriti suyate sa charachara. Everything in this world is happening under the direction of Krishna. Correct? So you cannot blame Krishna for our faults. So how to find our faults? Read Bhagavad Gita. Read what falsely I am living in this world. How I can become free from the prison of this world. Correct? This material world, it is not the prisoners are the only prisoners. We are also prisoners, but we unfortunately can't see the prisons bars, Sattva, Raja, Tama. We are also under the control of three modes of material nature. We think we are free, but we are not. Correct? We are not free. Can anybody say that I am free? Tukaram Maharaj gives a very classic example. It happened to him in his family tradition, 7 generations ago. He said, you are so much controlled in this world, you may be sitting in front of a Panchapakvanya, 56-course meal, whatever that is. And you have food in your hand, it is next to your lips, but you may die. That is how insecure, and that's the purpose Shivaji Maharaj told also Tukaram, padam padam, every step there is a danger. Correct? So that Krishna already told this world is not meant for you. So why you are trying to live here? Correct? So intelligence is to get out. So by conscious first get out, then physically you will get out. Correct? That answers your question. You are just saying yes because. Thank you. Thank you. Only thing we have is a choice, desire. After that, you are not independent. So, desire very intelligently. So, therefore, Krishna teaches us what to desire in Bhagavad Gita. So, therefore, we should read this Bhagavad Gita every day. Thank you. Anyone else? Yes.
Hare Krishna. So I'll repeat my question in Marathi and English. मला असं विचारायचं आहे की आतापर्यंत आम्ही म्हणजे ऐकत आले मी तुकाराम महाराजांबद्दल, तुकाराम महाराजांचे अभंग सुंदर सुंदर ऐकायला मिळतात, लता मंगेशकर आणि सगळे सुधीर फडके वगैरे वगैरे, राईट. तर ते ऐकायला छान वाटत होतं पण ते असं आपल्या लाईफमध्ये जेव्हा प्रॅक्टिस करायची वेळ येते तेव्हा असं वाटतं बापरे मला तर खूप कामं आहेत, माझी मुलं आहेत, काम आहे, घरातलं काम आहे, ऑफिसचं काम आहे, बाकीच्या सगळ्या गोष्टी आहेत, तर ते माझ्यासाठी नाही आहे. ते छान आहे सगळं पण ते माझ्यासाठी नाही आहे, मला शक्य नाही. तर मग मग कशी सुरुवात करायची असं असल्यानंतर, आणि समजा केलीही, दुसरा प्रश्न असा की केलीही तर कारण मी शिकते आहे अजून, मी भरपूर चुका करणार. जसं तुम्ही सांगितलं की कायम देवाचं नाव जप करत राहायचं, तर मी मेकॅनिकली करणार सुरुवात, कारण माझं तर कसं कॉन्शियसनेसच नाही आहे की भगवंताला समर्पित होण्याचा, की तुम्ही सांगितलं म्हणून मी करणार, तर त्याच्यात पुष्कळ साऱ्या चुका होणार. तर मग काय करायचं, आणि असे चुका झाल्या तर मला त्याचं फळ मिळेल का?
हरे कृष्णा. तुमचे 10 प्रश्न आहेत एका प्रश्नात. एनिवे, येस, वी हॅव टू इंग्लिशमध्ये उत्तर देता चालेल ना सगळ्यांना समजण्यासाठी? मराठी लोक सगळे समजलं.
सॉरी आय फॉरगॉट टू रिपीट द क्वेश्चन.
नो, दॅट्स ओके. एव्हरीबडी नोज, एव्हरीबडी अंडरस्टूड व्हॉट्स द क्वेश्चन? नो? ओके, देन यू हॅव टू रिपीट.
So my question was, until now I have been hearing about Tukaram, Sant Tukaram, and Sant Tukaram's bhajans and his teachings, but when it comes to my own life, I think, oh, I have so much work, I have this work, that work, let me first finish that, and that all that bhajan and all that upadesh, that instructions is not really for me. They were, in the past, they were nice people, they had time. It was for them, it's not for me. That's the thought of mine, and even if I start doing it because of the association of bhaktas, if I, let's say, decide to chant, then I will not be perfect. I will just mechanically start, maybe chant some japa. It will be mechanical, not with so much emotion, love for Krishna. Just because someone have asked me, I will chant. So will that still give me benefit? Will that still help? Or will it be a waste because I have not done it properly?
Yes. So one time Tukaram Maharaj, he was in Dehu, and one man came to him. He said, this Maya is very strong, very difficult to give up. And then he said, come tomorrow. And next day he came. At that time, Tukaram Maharaj was holding a mango tree. And he asked, what you are doing, Tukaram? He said, this tree is very difficult to give up. He said, you are holding the tree is not holding you. Got the answer? Okay. So this was exactly what is going on in our mind. We think I cannot give it up. Correct? Now answer me one question. What do you have to give up? If you have to give up something, you have to have something. What do you have? Do you have anything? Nothing. To understand that, you have to have bhakti. I don't own anything, only whatever I have, how I can engage in Krishna's service. So this is the principle. Practice, yes, we are not that elevated. So that is, we do it under the training of a devotee. How slowly we can increase our round, how slowly we can read Bhagavad Gita, understand Bhagavad Gita, slowly, slowly. Because there is a big demon, not outside, sitting in your body, and that's mind. Mind is the one who destroys everything. Mind tells you, oh, you cannot do that because you don't want to do it. Because if you listen to mind, you cannot do sense gratification, and that's what he wants. Right? So Tukaram Maharaj says that Ratrandina ma yuddhacha prasanga. Day and night we are fighting. With whom? Maya, Ajnan, illusion. Day and night. Ratrandina ma yuddhacha prasanga. Antar mana bahya jaga. Correct? Inside mind is telling you so many things, and outside people are telling you to do so many things. And in that we forgot to listen what Krishna is saying me to do. So you are caught between three people. Krishna, your mind, and outside people. Now you have to decide to who to listen. Now Krishna gave you Bhagavad Gita. He said, if you follow me, I will protect you. And anybody in the world comes and tells you, if you listen to me, I will protect you. Then why you are following? I'm sorry. Correct? First thing, who you have to listen to. Correct? And then live a normal life. Be a student, be a housewife. Tukaram Maharaj didn't tell, Shivaji Maharaj, give up everything. No. Just change your manava vithoba che dasa. Just whatever you do it as an offering to Krishna. Simple. Don't change your situation. Don't change your position. Don't change anything. Only thing, add one thing in your life, Krishna. And that will completely balance your life. Like, we are like Arjuna, we are like completely bewildered in this world. Now, no matter how, confidently you do things, still you have some doubt about doing something. And why is that? Because the last thing is not in our heart. Stamp of Krishna. That is not in your hand. You may work hard, but unless Krishna gives stamp, nothing is going to work. Correct? So for that purpose, we are sadhakas, We cannot say Tukaram like, thank you God, I lost my business. That is not our consciousness, okay? Make sure that your business goes on, But understand what you have to do with money. Right? Do your business nicely, So see, there is a very great Acharya in our Sampradaya. He is Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So he has given triangle of life. How many hours we have in our life? How many hours? 24 hours, right? Even by government law, now they are changing. When I was studying, I was doing my business management. That time the law was nobody can work more than 8 hours. Correct? I don't know, now that changed to 12 hours or whatever it is. Now you can work 24 hours, right? So you work. Divide your day in 3. 8 hours you work, whatever work you are doing. And nobody can work more than 8 hours every day for whole life. Once or twice in a week, month, that is possible. Sometimes you have to do work. 8 hours, full-heartedly engage in your mind, you are in working, whatever you are doing. Okay? Work when you work. Don't bring that work afterwards. Then leave others. How many hours left now? 16 hours, right? 8 hours, take care of this body. What does this mean? Body needs the sleep. Body needs the food. You have to take a bath. 8 hours in that. How many time, what is time left? What do you do with that? So Krishna is not asking what he is not giving you. Krishna is asking whatever he has given you. Krishna says, I have given you 24 hours, my dear boy. 24 hours. What are you doing with that? I work. You don't work 24 hours. I sleep. You don't sleep 24 hours. Correct? So 8 hours are there in your life to practice Krishna consciousness. 8 hours. Just imagine how much time we are what is that called? Wasting every day. And Tukaram Maharaj says, every second without you is death for me. We don't feel that way. Right? That's okay. We don't get discouraged. engage 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hour, then whole consciousness. Arjuna didn't go on the war and he took his bead bag, I was chanting in front of Duryodhana or Karna or Bhishma. He was not sitting and, oh, Krishna told me to 24, Anandas Chintayan Tomam. No, he didn't say that, oh, 24 hours I am chanting Hare Krishna, you do everything, No. Krishna makes sure that he does everything. So Krishna is he is doing everything for us. You desire. Our desire should be strong, practice Krishna consciousness. There will be so many disturbances. And the worst disturbance is your mind. मन चिंती ते वैरीनं चिंती. मराठीमध्ये म्हण आहे ना. आपला वैरी जो चिंतन करत नाही ते आपलं नको त्या गोष्टीची चिंता करत असतं. असलेल्या गोष्टीची नव्हे, नको त्या. So engage your mind. So this is how you use your body. Tukaram Maharaj has given. I told you how your eyes, your ears and everything. So practice every day, fixed round of chanting. No matter what, read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam every day, at least one page, one sloka, no matter what. You read so many nonsense things. Whole day people say, I see going up and down, They don't go up. They are going down, then going up, then going down, then go side, then go this side. They don't know how to go beyond this. So you have to go out of this to back to Godhead, like this. Last finger is correct. So we have to prepare for that. Okay. So slowly, don't worry. But try to understand that you are holding the tree, not tree is holding you. You are holding the illusion. Illusion is not holding you. And who can free us from that? Deviyeshi gunamayi mama maya duratyaya. It's very difficult to give up. Mameve prapadyante. But if you surrender to Krishna, he will protect. Like he protected all the Pandavas, Tukaram Maharaj gives many examples. Now there is a very separate topic. I was open my book, but I will start, then again 2 hours will go. There is a very nice topic about Tukaram's advice to his own wife. I don't want to discuss that now, don't worry. Okay, anybody from the guest question? Don't worry. If you want to practice, how you can practice, and how, if you don't understand, if you want to challenge anything, you are open. I will accept it if I am wrong. Right? But I didn't say anything. Did you hear anything of I was telling? I didn't say anything. I was telling everything what Tukaram and Bhagavad Gita is saying. Yes, Prabhu. This is the last question. I would like guests to ask, all the devotees are asking. I would like if any first newcomers to ask the question. These are our regular devotees, they will keep on asking me all day. Yes, now the secretary has come up. Very good.
Hare Krishna. So one, maybe it's a stupid question, but how to read a Bhagavad Gita? I started reading Bhagavad Gita 2 years back. Maybe I finished half of it, and then I found it like every page seems to be same to me. I couldn't understand it completely, like how to...
Me too, I read 15 Bhagavad Gitas.
So any guidance on that part? Like
wonderful question. Now this should be the question of all of you. So we have here the same corporates you are looking in Dhoti Kurta. They give a course called DYS. Do you have that here? Do you have? Discover yourself. You see this guy standing here? So he will teach you Bhagavad Gita. We have a course called DYS. Right? Correct? So you can talk with him. And then we have a course of Bhakti Shastri, reading Bhagavad Gita every day and understanding day by day. And in the beginning, the overall view. Then day by day, then chapter wise, in details. So you can inquire for whole Maharashtra Mandal. How many members are there in Maharashtra Mandal in Seattle? 400. So you can have a course for all the 400 people. He will give it free. And if he asks charges, ask me, I'll make sure he will not charge you. So who will teach you Bhagavad Gita free? Topmost knowledge in the world, more than whatever knowledge you got earned in your college. So he's ready to give it free. I don't know, there are many scholars here more than me. So learn Bhagavad Gita, how to understand, and then how to practice. So you can arrange a whole class for 50, 100, 200 devotees for Maharashtra Mandal in Marathi. And if you arrange for that, I will come from India and give it in Marathi. Only thing you have to pay for my ticket. I can give in Marathi 7 day. I give Marathi 7 day Bhagavad Gita course in India. thousands come. Hare Krishna. Yeah. 400 families, ooh. Here you go. 400 families mean plus 3. 1200, my God. Gauranga Chandra, you have a big job. Big seva. I'm not a job, big seva. And I heard that your company gives you $17 for some social work. This is a good social work. Tell them that I have 1200 people to develop their Krishna consciousness. Another job for you, 24 hours. So please, there are many Marathi speaking devotees here. To be in touch with them, this is my first time to Seattle. I never came to this site, but it's my good fortune. First time I came to Seattle and fall in love, you know. I don't want to even go back, but I have to, you know. So very nice professionals and very nice devotees. Same time, you know, they are almost like sannyasis in their grihasthashram. And see how happy they are. You know, they are not losing anything. You think as an enjoyment. Especially more, they are enjoying more their life. So very good question, Secretary Sahib. So tumcha ichha ami purna karu. So be in touch. I am just an instrument to bring you all. Thank you. Hare Krishna. That was a good question. Okay, should we end here? One question. I was asking for that. Yes.
We talk about detachment, but how to get detached from the worry of our children? Because whatever we do, we think that we are doing this for our children, property, money, whatever we do.
Yes.
So I don't know how to get detachment from that.
Yes, wonderful question. If you have to get detached, you have to attach somewhere. Unless you get attached somewhere, you cannot detach. Correct? You walk with 2 steps. Correct? Unless you put 1 step forward, you cannot leave whatever you have behind. You have to make sure where your front foot is going always in your life. And that is Krishna consciousness. Once we are in Krishna consciousness, once we practice following Bhagavad Gita, you have all the solutions for everything in your life. They have kids, their kids go to college, their kids they have a Bhakti Yoga club in college where they read Bhagavad Gita. Here is wonderful kid sitting here, Aryan. Can you stand, please? He goes in Washington University. So, can you imagine he is a sadhu? You know, no one knows in his college also he is sadhu. So, he is a pakka sadhu like everybody else, you know. So, his practice is in his home, you know. Are you lacking anything in your life? No fun? Fun? You are having all the fun? Yeah, see. He is having all the fun kids have, but in a different way, better way. Not harming himself and others. Yeah. So we have, see, Bhagavad Gita is for everybody. You for Grihastha, yes, welcome. You're sannyasi, you have rules for that. Brahmachari, you have rules for that, right? So, yes, everybody, especially those who came from India to America, they are worried about their children. Because they know their culture, but they don't see that it's carried forward. Correct? Whatever they know. The first thing is we don't follow. Then how they are going to follow? So first, as a parents, we have to become an example. So this is my culture. Correct? It is very, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to criticize you. Whenever I go to Indian culture or any mandals, I go to different mandals of different states also. You know, what they do as Indian culture, they sing in Hindi songs. They think that is Indian culture, you know. Instead of singing Bollywood, they sing Hollywood. But that's not Indian culture. Our culture is Katha, Kirtan is our real culture. Have you ever seen, if you ask the older people, in my time, in 60s and 70s, after 5 o'clock, there is only one place to go, temple. There was no other place, no malls, no TV, no light, forget about everything else, correct? So you had a purpose in your life, you know where to go. Now, temples are all empty, and we are worried about culture. So make your home as a temple. It is not possible to go every day to the temple. So learn how to make your home as a temple. So what is temple? Krishna is the center. So your home, make Krishna as a center. Do everything as an offering to Krishna. So your son's education, your husband's job, your cooking, everything becomes perfect. Right? So that's why I said you just have to change your consciousness, nothing else. And Bhagavad Gita teaching you to change your consciousness and proper consciousness. Correct? Okay, thank you. So next time when I want to see all the 1200 Maharashtra Mandal will be chanting with their drums and everything, Ram Krishna Hari. Right? I can do Vitthal Kirtan with all of you. We can have a wari. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
So, Prabhu, are we taking more questions?
No, I think it's enough. I don't want to bind them more, They want to go and I want to bind them.
Hare Krishna.
If anybody have any questions, I am here. You can ask me in 4 languages, Kannada, Marathi, Hindi and English. Anybody from Karnataka? Yariddaru elle? Oh, ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀರಿ? ಯಾವ ಊರು ಅವರು? ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು. Sorry. Okay. Haribol.
So we'd like to thank His Grace Vrindavan Prabhu for such an amazing connection to Sant Tukaram Maharaj and Chatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. And I learned few things that growing up in Maharashtra and worshipping those two personalities all the time didn't know about. So let's say this is ISKCON style. Hari Bol 3 times by raising your hands, both hands. Raise all your hands. 3 times we are going to say Hari Bol. Repeat after me. Every time it should be louder than the last time. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Thank you so much. We would request His Grace.
You did now? You told me to practice, I told you. In chant Hare Krishna. If I don't chant Hare Krishna, what is the use of I'm telling you to chant Hare Krishna? So you are reminding me, Hari Bol. Okay, so I will Hari Bol. Thank you.
So on behalf of Seattle Maharashtra Mandal, VCC and all the attendees, I'd like to request His Grace Vrindavan Prabhu to keep coming every year and more frequently and bless us with his connection.
7-day course.
Yes,
Marathi.
yes. But
if they bring all 1200 people, you just have to have $1 from them. That will cover my ticket.
we will take care of the tickets. Just bring the people. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So we have 2 wonderful books written by Prabhuji, Sant Tukaram Maharaj, Marathi and English. The English version is on the table if you want to take a copy for yourself. There is a blank paper with a pen. If you want to write your fortune with your own hands, put your name and number. We'll invite you to a DYS class. And the class is starting very soon actually. In few days, the batch is starting. So you can join it. If we get enough people, we can do a Marathi only batch also. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.